Great job, guys. So if you hear me count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it means stay muted or mute. And if you hear me say promise, that means you better check to make sure it is muted. All right, loves, let's get started. I'm ready if you are. You know our promise. Participate, respect, be on time. Thank you. Stay muted. Include your full name in the chat or change your name on Zoom so I see your real name. Stay seated unless I tell you to get up. And eyes on me. This is our Thursday lesson, our science lesson. And I am so excited because we're learning something a little kind of cool. I actually love the lesson that we're going to teach today. I do, and I'll tell you more. Today, you, me, we will investigate the day and nighttime sky so I can name the objects in the sky and talk about how they relate to the earth. Okay? So you know you have it when you can describe the objects in the day and nighttime sky, give some examples, and tell where they are in relation to me or you. Okay, so we need to figure out how far away things are and how close they are. Next steps, I will discover how to make objects in space appear closer to us. All right, let me check the chat. Nope, no problems. Good, here we go. Module 2, we're gonna do the coolest video. You're gonna like this. Let me share my sound so you can hear space. Yes, remember we were talking about what's in the sky, the daytime and nighttime sky. So let's take a trip. This is about 5 minutes long. So what you're gonna do is become an astronaut. Yes, buckle in, put your helmets on, strap yourselves in, and sit back and enjoy. We are about to launch into outer space. Wow, look at that. Does that look familiar to anybody? Oh, raise your hand if you know what that is. Blake, what is that? You want to tell us? Oh, no, okay, Adeline, what is that?
It's Earth.
That's right. That's our planet. Very nice. Let's continue. Remember, we are launching into outer space. So we're moving away from our Earth. Let's continue and see where it takes us. Thank you. Oh, let me look. Promise.
What's in your hand?
Okay, Larissa, when you hear me say promise, what does that mean to do?
Mew.
Okay, but we're going to have a talk. Okay, here we go. Appears as though we are moving further away from Earth. We are going to be able to see things in space. And what is that? Oh, Does that look familiar? Okay, get ready. We're gonna go into hyper speed. Don't get dizzy. We're gonna go backwards and really fast through our universe. And notice all of those bright white lights. How do they look to you? Think about that in your mind. And look how fast we're moving. Hyper warp speed, look out. I know, right? Whoa. And if you have figured it out by now, those are stars. There are also other bodies in space that we might have seen. They might be planets, they could be asteroids, they could be space junk and satellites, but the ones that we are passing super fast are stars. So let's move on and talk a little bit more about what stars are, what they look like to us. Here's our first activity. So on these next few slides, we're going to talk a little bit about how the stars appear to you, with your eyeballs. So have you ever gone outside? Just raise your hand. If you ever gone outside and at nighttime on a clear night and looked up into the sky, have you seen stars? Yeah. Okay. Have you ever noticed during the daytime we see a star that we have that's closest to our Earth? Seems like it looks a little different from the stars at nighttime. Yeah. Okay. Let's think about that for a second. How about Larissa? Larissa.
Yes.
Larissa. Uh-oh. Promise. Okay, Larissa, real quick. Why do you think the sun looks much closer to us?
Because
Now, you know that the sun is our very own star, right?
yeah,
Okay, so why do you think it looks closer than the other stars?
because it's a really big star.
Okay, but other stars are really big too, and they're all different sizes. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing that.
Some could be planets.
Thank you. How about Nathan? Let's just talk about stars for a minute. How about Nathan? Hey, Nathan, why do you think the sun looks so much closer to us? Or so, I said that wrong. Why do you think it looks so much bigger to us than the stars out in space?
Because Mom said the sun is a big ball of gas.
It is, but why does it look closer to us, bigger to us than the other stars? I gave it away. It's part of my question is the answer. Why does the sun star seem so big? Benito? Thank you, Nathan. You can mute. It is a big ball of gas. Ben, why do you think it looks big?
It's far away, but if you're on Earth, it's you can feel like a little close to you.
Okay. I think the word you have is right because it's the closest star to you. You can't reach out and touch it. You'll burn your fingers. So, but it is the closest one. Thanks, Ben. Go ahead and promise for me. So it is the closest star to us. That's why it looks so big. Let's repeat that. The sun is the closest star? Say it.
The sun is the closest star.
Oh, that was beautiful. That's why it looks so big. All right, let's look at our first little slide. And look at those 3 stars right there. All right, those are 3 stars. Which one looks the closest to you? Circle it. Go ahead and circle it if you can. If you thought of those as the stars in the nighttime sky, which one of those looks the closest? Knowing what we know about the sun. Oh, I agree. Adeline, very nice. The biggest star, the largest star, that does seem to be the closest one to us, because as the closer they get, the bigger they look. Yes, just like our sun. Okay, nice work. If you circled the largest star, you're right. It is the one that would appear closest to us. Blake, go back to the black square and circle the star that you think is the closest to us, okay? And now let me just look at a few others so we can see your thinking. Oh, look at that. I love it. Oh, we can hardly see it, but I see Stephen and Nathan's. And let's look at Larissa. Larissa, choose one of those stars that you think would appear the closest to you. Circle only one of them. Do you think it's the small one, the middle one? Nope, I didn't say to unmute. I said to circle the largest star because he is the one that appears the closest. All right. Beautiful, guys. Now, let's move on. Let's do the second one. Now, you're on Earth. You're standing there. It's nighttime. You're out in your backyard. You look up. Which star appears the closest to you from Earth? Zara, do you need the code? It's in the chat box in Zoom. If you open up the chat, it's kind of hard to see right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, we got it, yes.
Okay. All right. So in this slide, we want to be looking at the stars from Earth and which star would appear the closest. Circle one of the stars that you think would look the closest to you. You could almost reach out and touch it. Would it be the tiny star, the middle star, or the big star? If you chose the big star, you got it right. You are starting to understand that, yes, the closer things are, the larger they appear. And that means they must be close to us. Imagine for a moment. Promise. Michael, what does promise mean? Thanks, guys. It's going to be hard to get through the lesson if we keep it on muting, okay? So, as I was saying, imagine for a moment that you were in a big field and your mom was standing all the way at the other end of the field. Would she look large or small? And then imagine she started running toward you. And as she got closer, oh, would she appear smaller or larger? And then what if she got really close to you? Oh, so the closer things are, the larger they appear. If you circled the large star, you got it right. Now, Parisha, the Earth is not a star. So don't circle Earth because we're not a star. We're just a big ball of rock with water on it. All right. So make sure that you circle one of the stars and the closest one. And let's see, Vashvik, do you want to change your answer? Remember, the larger it is, the closer it is, the larger it appears. So I would circle the largest star. Let's look at, oh, yes, I like Stevens. Let me look at Almost. Yes, very good. Let me look at Arna's. Oh, yeah, she's got a red markers. Let's go on. Let's do our last one. And this box is asking you to circle the star. Uh-oh, listen carefully. I'm gonna trick you. Circle the star that looks the farthest away. Farthest away? What do you guys think? If you're just coming on and you do join.nearpod.com, the code, I typed it in our chat in Zoom. I think I can still see it. It's Y4KLE. So now in this box, we are standing on the moon. And now we want to choose one of those yellow stars that would look the farthest away. Would it be large or small? If you are unable to do the Nearpod right now, you can also draw it on paper, guys. You can draw a little moon and you can draw what the stars would look like if they were close and far away. All right, let's look and see how we did. Oh, yes, Jaden, I agree. The farther things are away, the smaller they appear, just like your mom on a football field. She's so far away. She looks so tiny. So you would choose the tiny, tiny, tiny star because he would be the one that would look the farthest away. That's right. Let's look at Larissa's beautiful. Let's look at, we said Jaden's. Yes. Siddharth, very nice. Oh my goodness, you guys are good at this one. Far away is small. Close is huge. All right, let's look at Zara. Zara, you can change your answer. I think there's a erase button and you can change your answer or start over. But I would agree, the tiny, tiny, tiniest star seems like it's the farthest away. All right, let's look at Ben's and then we'll move on. Yep, I see it. Great. Guess what? You just learned a lesson. Your first lesson is the closer things are, the larger they appear. Ah! Okay. And the farther they are, the smaller they appear. And that's the same for stars in the nighttime sky. So here we go. Now we get to connect the dots. Some of these are not stars. Stop. Wait. Hold on. Not all of those are stars. Some are triangles. I don't want to connect the triangles. Some of those are planets. See the circles? Don't connect those. Here's the directions. Start at the star that appears the farthest away and travel or connect the stars through space to arrive at the star that appears the closest. But skip the shapes that are not stars. Okay, so you're going to connect the stars starting from the farthest away all the way to the closest. But do not connect the circles or the triangles. They're not stars. Okay, it's like almost like a little maze. Beautiful. Let's see how we do. Look at that. It's kind of hard to do. Oh, look at the shape we made. Oh, she's working on it. Okay, hold on. Let's look at Siddharth. Oh, look at this. So yes, he's going to try to travel from the tiniest, farthest away and make his way. Oh my goodness, it does make a star. It's great. Beautiful. Let's look at Ava's. Oh, that's awesome. And you skipped the planets. We're not traveling to planets. That's right. And you skipped the weird triangles. We'll call those spaceships. We're not going to those. Look at that, guys. Fabulous job. You are so good at that. Do you know you could do that at home when you have some extra time, you're bored? Why don't you make a nighttime sky and you can connect the stars? Yeah. That would be a fun activity to do, especially on a rainy day. All right, lovies, let's move on. You did awesome. Kiss your brains. We are going to learn something else about space. Now, I'm going to take you to the desert. Okay, so make sure you have a water and a camel ready. We're in the desert now, and it's nighttime. And this is one of those virtual reality. Yeah, I know you've done VR before. And I'm going to travel. Can everybody see outer space? Can you see it? Yeah. Oh my goodness. So now we're going to talk about what it looks like. And I'm going to ask, let's see, how about Jackson? Hey, Jackson, do you want to unmute and tell me when I look up at space at nighttime, can you describe to me how the stars look? Go ahead. Liam, can you mute for me? Jackson's talking.
Stars look far away.
They do. That's right. Since the sun is not out, he's our closest star. All the rest of the stars do appear far away, don't they? Now, let me ask you a question. Thank you for sharing. Prisha, let's look over here at this cluster of stars. Do some of them look larger and some of them look smaller?
Yeah.
Really? So are they all the same size?
No.
No, not at all. Guys, turn to, I don't know, turn to your imaginary partner sitting next to you. Let's call him Pinuccio and tell them stars are different sizes. Go ahead. Stars are different sizes. I'm going to turn to my imaginary friend. Here I go. Stars are different sizes. That's right. And different colors too. All right, next question. Let's try Jaden. Hey, Jaden, looking at the stars, do they look like they're kind of lined up perfectly straight, or are they sort of messy and scattered?
They're messy and scattered.
That's right. They're not lined up perfectly straight, are they? So that is such a good observation and something you need to know. I had a kid once a couple years ago, and I said, draw the nighttime sky. And they drew the stars in perfect lines. And I said, but I'm not so sure it looks like that. Let's double check. And when they looked at this picture, they said, oh no, it's not in perfect lines. They're all scattered and all over the place. Now, one more question. How about, who wants to answer this one? How about, oh, Julian, thank you. Hey, Julian, look really carefully at this picture right in the middle. It looks like there are stars, and then behind them, there are stars. And then even farther away, there look like there's stars. Do you think there are stars behind stars?
No.
No, you think it's just one wall of stars, or do you think there are layers of stars?
I don't know.
Well, guess what? There are layers of stars. So
What?
these are the stars you can see, but there are more stars behind these stars and more stars behind those. And then
And those?
and keep going. You'll see more and more and more and more, and it never ends. Infinity and beyond. All right, guys, let's move on. Now that you know what the nighttime sky really looks like, let's review. The stars are not lined up perfectly. The stars are not all one size. They're all different sizes, and they're scattered, like almost like you threw paint on a dark surface, and it would just scatter everywhere. And there are more stars behind the stars you see. So we learned three really cool things. Let's talk about this slide. Okay, you guys ready? So this little girl, Ava, she drew those stars in the black square. Okay. How many did she draw? How many did she guess were in the nighttime sky? Count those yellow stars and tell me how many she thought there were. Arna? Say there's 12. Did you say 12?
5.
5. I agree. That's right. So
I did
so
like a 5 fingers up. I
okay,
thought
I'm
you.
sorry. I couldn't see you. Hey, listen. So she thought there were only 5 stars in the sky, right? Do you agree with her? No, she's like, no. So in the blue, under the blue box, it asks you a very special question. So how many stars are actually in the nighttime sky? If we disagree with Ava and we don't think there are just 5, how many do you think there really are? Oh, let's see. Who wants to try to answer? Can you come up with a number? Christina, how many do you think there are? Unmute and tell me, okay?
A lot.
A lot. That's a great answer. If we go back to that other page that had the VR desert sky, could we count all those stars?
No.
That's
There's too
right.
many.
That's right. So the answer to this question might be how many stars under the blue picture of the nighttime sky? How many stars are actually in the night sky? It's a big fat, I don't know. You could put a question mark in there because nobody, no one, not a scientist or a teacher or even a little kid or your parents can count all of the stars in the sky.
0 people?
That's right. Nobody can count. So I personally might put a question mark under the blue the blue picture. Let's look and see. Let's see what everybody guessed, okay? So let's see. Let's go to Jaden. Jaden, I'm going to challenge you. Try counting. See if you get up to 10,000 or a million. You know what? There might be even more. It's impossible to count how many there are because behind the stars that you see are more stars, and behind those stars are more stars. And there are stars we'll never get to see because they're so far away. So oh, look at Christina. I agree. How many stars are actually in the nighttime sky? The answer is, I don't know. Nobody knows. Put a question mark. That's right. Beautiful. It's impossible to count. And I'll challenge you. Go ahead, out one night, take your dad out there and try to count the stars. But don't forget, there are stars that you can't see. So how do you count those? I don't know. All right, loves. Let's move on. I think that was a great lesson because it's important to know that there are too many stars to count. Now, let's finish up. We're almost at the end. Our time to climb is coming. Let me check my chat. Oops, who's doing the chats? Oh, Darth. Please don't write that in the chat. Guys, who else was doing that? Oops, I went back the wrong way. That's a long number. Okay, we're back to it. What a starry night. I'm going to read the questions. I want you to put a check or an X on the correct answer. Promise. Promise. Thank you. I love him. Oh, you're awesome. Okay, here we go. The stars are all the same size. Number 1. Would you put a check mark on true or false? True means yes, all the stars are exactly the same size. Or false, no, Miss Cruz, the stars are not all the same size. Okay, number 2, please stay out of the chat, guys. I don't want to have to disable it. Number 2, the stars are the same distance away from each other. They're all lined up perfectly. Is that true or false? Number 2 is true if all the stars are lined up perfectly evenly spaced. False if no, they're scattered, Miss Cruz. And number 3, the stars are far away from Earth. True or false? Ava, do you have a question for me? Okay. All right, my loves, let's move on and see how we did. Yes, I agree. So let's see, let's look at Johnny's. Number 1, false. The stars are not all the same size. You're right. 2, the stars are the same distance away from each other. They're perfectly lined up. No, that's not true. That's false. That's right, Johnny. Good work. And the third one, true. The stars are far away from Earth. Even the sun that looks huge is actually far away. All right, so Julian, you can change your answer. Number 1, the stars are all the same size. You got that right. Number 2, you got it right. Look at number 3 again. Are the stars really close? Can you reach out and touch them? False if you think, nah. True if you think, yes, they're pretty far away. Okay, let's look at Stevens. Okay, let me double check one more thing. I'm getting messages from parents. Okay. The stars are all the same size. False. You're right, Stephen. Let's look at number 2. Are the stars perfectly evenly lined up the same distance away from each other? Are they? You said they were. Are they though? I might want to change my answer. Okay, loves. Let's move on. You did great. The answers to these are false, false, true, false, false, true. Number 1 should be false. Number 2 should be false because, yeah, those stars are not evenly spaced, lined up. That's not true. And number 3 should be true because the stars are far away. So once again, the answers are false, false, true. So let's see. Almo, you can change your answer. Benito, you can change your answers. Let's see. These are going to be on a test, so you probably want to practice this, guys. Yalini, you can change your answers. Ada Lynn, you got it perfectly right. I love it. I like Ava's. Nathan, very nice. Jackson, yes. Almo, I like that. Who's this at the bottom? Zara, very good. I agree. It should be false. They are not the same size. You're right. False. And 2, nope, they're not perfectly lined up. That's not true. That would be false. You're right. And number 3, they're far away. That is true. Okay, let's move on. Here comes the fun one. Okay. You can choose a white or a yellow color or red. Notice that the stars are different colors. Fill the night sky with stars, stars, and more stars. You guys are going to be making so many stars. So what we do in the classroom when I was at Brick and Mortar, we would take a little paint or a white crayon and sometimes even like a little paper clip and to poke holes in a black paper. And we would make a picture of all of the stars that we could possibly fit. And we would also notice that when you make a diagram, when you make a picture of the stars, some are bigger than others. Some appear larger, some appear smaller. Some are really close together and some are spaced far apart and they're all scattered. So I'm going to stop and look to see how you are representing the nighttime sky. Oh, wow. Let me see Siddharth. Oh, that's Oops, he's still working. Can't see it yet. Let's look at Blake's. Oh, Blake, that looks great. Look at that. Can you do more? Can you do more? Can you change the color? Oh, look at Ava Marie. You put a picture. I love that. Nice work. And yes, that is a perfect example because it is a real picture of the nighttime sky. All of the stars. Now, stars kind of appear like little twinkly lights, little dots, right? Be careful of when you are representing the nighttime sky, make sure that they're really scattered and different sizes. And some are close together and some are spread out, but they are not all the same size, and they are not evenly spaced. All right, that was fun. I love it. Wow, Johnny, look at yours. Ada Lynn, nice. Yes, Christina, I like your big and small ones. Those are nice. And look at Jackson's. Oh, that's so cool. You have different colors and sizes. Arna, very nice. Almo, let's open up Almo's. Oh, that looks good, but they're all the same size. Can you make some tiny ones and some bigger ones? Try that. I do like how you have them scattered and clustered. Just like what the real nighttime sky looks like. Wow, look at this one. Fabulous, guys. All right. You guys can do this at home too on another rainy day. Get a piece of paper, maybe a black piece of paper, a dark color, blue or something. And maybe you can sit down and demonstrate how to show the nighttime sky and how the stars relate to each other and how they appear to you. Yeah. All right. We're going to move on to our time to climb. Get ready. This is it. We're at the end. This is your favorite. I want to go back to the Himalayas. Oh, no, wait, we have to do space today. Yeah, we have to do space today. We'll do the Himalayas again next time. All right, so you're in outer space. Choose your players. We are going to have a series of 5 or 6 questions, reviewing what we've learned today about stars and how they appear to us in the nighttime and daytime sky. We're going to try to remember all the things we learned. And when we are finished with this, you'll have your poll. Talk about that for a moment. And then we will stop, answer any questions and share some thoughts. And then we'll go. Wow. All right, guys, are you ready? I think we're ready. Let's start. Our first question is, what is the name of our closest star? You know, the name of our star. It's not George.
Squirrels.
Galini, can I help you?
Yeah, you just put your name, Mrs. Squirrels.
Yes, I did. Here comes the next question. I know I have to be silly. Describe how the stars appear in the nighttime sky. So how do they appear? Are they lined up? Are they scattered? Go Blake, go Johnny, go Siddharth, go all of you. Look, oh wow, there they go. Run. Wow, that's awesome. Yes, they are scattered. Number 3. The stars are all the same size. True or false? Just like people. Are we all the same size? Good work. Awesome. Okay, number 4. The stars are always in the sky. Always. True or false? But kids don't think about where the stars are during the daytime. And And if you said yes, they're always in the sky, you got it right. Even if we can't see them, they're still there. Number 5, what is something that can hide the sun from your view? What is something that hides the sun? Evelyn. Christina, did you get it? Yeah, awesome. If you said the clouds, you got it right. Nice. The clouds can obscure the sun. That means hide it from us. How can we make the stars appear larger? What can we use to make things look larger in space? Don't say hot dogs. If you said a telescope, you got it right. That is a lesson that's coming up for you guys. Wonderful. Look at that leaderboard. You rock. Everybody got points. I'm so proud of you. Okay, so last question is, and before we begin, although I'm sure you're so used to this, you'll just click, I've got this. But I have a question for you. I'm going to see if you guys will share with me your thoughts. How comfortable, oops, hold on. How comfortable do you feel describing the day and nighttime sky? So we have 3 answers. I've got this. I understand the nighttime sky. I can describe it. I can show it. I can demonstrate it. I can give answers. I got this. B, I need a little practice. I forget which is close, which is far away. Or C, I need a lot of help. So my question to you as part of this is, how do we know that you've got it? How are you sure if you've got it? That's an important question for you guys to be able to tell me. How do you know that you've got it? Blake? What should you be able to do? Should you be able to tell me that the stars are scattered?
No, did I tell you what I was pointing down already for?
Oh, no, I didn't know.
Like the first, on the astronaut one.
Okay.
What I was pointing down, cause I saw my old house.
Oh, I thought so too. I remember when we did that, it kind of looked like Florida, but then I saw mountains, and I wonder where that was. So the question they have for you on this slide is actually really important. And as we progress through our year together, I'm going to start asking you guys, not me, you, what you need to know to be successful in the lesson. All right. So it's not going to be enough for you to say, I got it. I want you to be able to tell me why you think you have it. All right. So here's a good response. If I ran over to Yelini's house, I knocked on her door right now and I said, how do you know you have it? How do you know that you know this? And she said, Miss Cruz, because I can tell that the stars are scattered, that they're all different sizes, and that I can tell which is closest and which is farthest, and that the stars are always in the sky. So it's important for you to be able to tell me why you think you've got it. And we're going to begin doing that very soon. So you're not going to be able just to give me a quick answer. You're going to have to tell me a little bit more. All right, guys, we're going to stop. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see your cute faces and tell you that you did amazing. I am so proud of you. Thank you for keeping your promise today. It is time to say goodbye, but I'm here to answer any quick questions for you. Let me go from the top.